Roughly the same size as New Jersey, Israel has more museums per capita than any other country in the world. The Israel Museum, Bible Lands, and the Museum of the Jewish People are three of the country's most prominent cultural institutions. Amid this tapestry of Israeli museums is the Museum for Islamic Art, which opened in 1974. It boasts a collection of some 4,000 objects, including jewelry, pottery, rugs, weapons, and Qurans, and it welcomes tens of thousands of visitors annually. Perhaps the most unique feature of a museum, otherwise dedicated to Islamic art, is its collection of rare and valuable watches. Highlights of the collection included 55 clocks, crafted by famed horologist Abraham Louis Breguet. Known as the father of modern watchmaking, Breguet is credited with an array of innovations, among them the tourbillon, an addition to watch mechanisms that counteracts the pull of gravity and makes timekeeping more accurate. Staff realized the museum had been burglarized after arriving for work the morning of April 17, 1983. The 106 stolen timepieces included the Marie Antoinette clock, a pistol-shaped 19th-century clock, and a sympathique clock, designed by Breguet. In addition to the clocks, the thief took several paintings and other artifacts. The police were mystified. 2 guards had been monitoring the museum the night of the theft, but they claimed to have been asleep during the break-in. The museum's alarm system was reportedly broken. The sheer number of items stolen suggested multiple thieves were involved. But the window, seemingly used to enter the building, was on the smaller side, barely large enough to admit a grown adult. Authorities offered a $2 million reward for the return of the stolen clocks. But local police, Interpol, private detectives, and even Mossad, Israel's national intelligence agency, all searched in vain. For the next 25 years, the museum cases that had held the watches stood empty, a testament to the unsolved burglary. In August 2006, a Tel Aviv arts dealer informed museum staff that he'd been asked to perform a valuation of clocks he recognized as part of the Salomon's collection. A few days later, the artistic dealer of the museum received a phone call from a lawyer representing an anonymous woman who claimed to possess 39 of the stolen clocks, including the Marie Antoinette watch. She would return them to the museum for a price, but she wanted anonymity and no police involvement. After negotiating with the lawyer, the museum agreed to pay $35,000 for the timepiece's safe return. Authorities started investigating, examining the recovered clocks, and interrogating the lawyer who'd negotiated the sale. Eventually, the trail of clues led detectives to Los Angeles, where they identified the woman who'd returned the clocks as Israeli expatriate Neely Shamrat. Shamrat was Naaman Diller's widow. Her husband had apparently confessed to the heist on his deathbed and left the stolen goods to her in his will. Israeli police were already familiar with Diller, a master forger and resourceful thief who was renowned for his ability to crawl into tight spaces. He was best known for a 1967 bank robbery in Tel Aviv. Diller spent 5 months digging an underground tunnel to the bank, where he carefully cracked open safe deposit boxes and stole the most valuable loot. The Tarzana search led police to safety deposit boxes around the world. Diller had sold just 3 of the 106 stolen clocks, stashing the rest everywhere, from Tel Aviv to Munich to Basel to Paris to Los Angeles. Authorities eventually found 96 of the 106 stolen timepieces. In July 2009, the recovered items went back on view at the museum, this time in a supposedly theft-proof walk-in safe. Diller was so passionate about the watches that he kept each of the tiny pieces in perfect condition. Authorities believe that Diller didn't carry out the theft for the money, but instead for the thrill of it. He yearned to succeed in doing the impossible, to achieve an incredible feat. He loved clocks, and he also loved carrying out heists. Even the detectives, tasked with taking Diller down, expressed grudging admiration for him. He was a legendary robber. He was very different, very intelligent, and had a unique style. We are all disappointed that we don't have the chance to sit and talk to him and investigate him. We feel like we missed out on that. Later, police pieced together how the infamous robber had probably masterminded the heist. They believe Diller cased the museum ahead of time, noting the broken alarm and where the security guards were situated. He used a tool to bend the bars on a back window, then crawled into the building with the help of a rope ladder. Masking his movements, by parking his car in front of the window, he removed the timepieces that were small enough to fit through the window and dismantled some of the larger items. In March 2010, Shamrat, who'd been convicted of receiving stolen property by a California court, was sentenced to 5 years of probation and 300 hours of community service. She lost her job as a teacher at a Jewish high school as a result of the scandal, but maintained that she'd only learned of her husband's crimes when he confessed to them on his deathbed.